Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty. Today's episode, we are going to jump on the comments by comedian Aries Spears that he made towards singer Lizzo. As predicted, Aries Spears has gotten a lot of backlash, and I would say righteously so. But before I go on with my commentary, I want to remind you of the comments in which he made.
Music man, Lizzo.
Lizzo?
Yeah, bro, have you heard her shit, yo? Like, as a songwriter, yo.
I can't get past the fact that she looks like the shit emoji. She's got a very pretty face, but she keeps showing her body off, nigga. Like, come on, man. Come on, yo. I'm sorry, listen, I ain't the most in shape nigga in the world, but I still, when you funny and you got swagger and confidence and you decent looking, I think I'm at least handsome, you get pussy. But a woman that's built like a plate of mashed potatoes is in trouble. You know what kills me about women? Is the hypocrisy and the contradiction. Yes, queen, slay, queen. Yes, queen, slay. Yeah, girl, your confidence. Fuck diabetes. Fuck heart problems. Fuck heart disease, cholesterol. You all claim womanhood and about sisterhood and support for your sister, when it comes to that ridiculous shit. But if you really gave a fuck, why wouldn't you go, black girl, we love you, we love your confidence, boo-boo, but this ain't it. This ain't it. That's the real love. Y'all will jump on me for making jokes, but y'all won't fucking be real and go, sister, put the eclair down. This ain't it. It's treadmill time.
Okay, so as you heard, those comments did not sit well with a lot of people. And they definitely did not sit well with me. But I want to add some context to what I'm going to say here with Aries Spears. People, I'm not going to drag another black person about their looks. Just like I don't think it was a good thing for him to drag Lizzo about her looks, particularly when he doesn't look any better. But Aries Spears is trapped in a time warp, I think. He tends to forget that he no longer looks like this. This day is long gone. And I can add to that he no longer looks like this. Perhaps if he looked like that, those past two pictures, then that would give him room to talk about Lizzo or to critique her look. But this is Aries Spears today. Now, one of the things that I find the most offensive is the fact that a black man is going to say to a black woman for a worldwide audience to hear that she looks like the shit emoji. We as black people should know better than to even use that type of language in describing one another. That type of language is something that a racist would use. And I have heard racists say that about black people, talking about they are the color of poop. So it's just so unsettling to hear another black man describe a black female in that particular manner, particularly a black female who is doing nothing to him. He goes on to say that, because he has swag and confidence and because he's handsome, he can still get pussy. Then he goes on to say that he has, however, a female who's built like a mashed potatoes would have trouble in that department. Personally, I don't think that Lizzo would have too much trouble or problems getting men. Considering that, a lot of black men are more forgiving for women who tend to be overweight. And it seems to me that what's really bothering him is that, he's just as big as Lizzo is. By him being a male, he probably weighs more. So could it be the very fact that she's confident, or she appears to be, or acts more confident in her skin than what he is? See, the very fact that he had to come after her and put her down, talking about her physical appearance, leads me to believe that there's some side jealousy / insecurity on his part. And this is a man right here who goes on to say that if black women really cared about Lizzo, they would take her side, or they would whisper to her ear about heart disease, high cholesterol, diabetes, lay off the sweets, lay off the sugar, so forth. I mean, case in point, you just need to worry about your own health, what you're eating, what you are consuming. What Lizzo is eating is not going to make this man shit. So therefore, it shouldn't bother him. He's not dating her. She's not dating him. They're not interacting with one another. So case in point, why go after her? I really don't understand as to why that comment was even made. It just seems like to me that he's just bothered by a female like Lizzo who's showing off her skin. And you know what? I'm not a big fan of Lizzo, to be honest with you. I don't really play her music, but I'm not going to critique her. I did a video about her employing Tyson Beckford, in one of her videos, but not at one time did you hear me criticize her physical appearance. I would never do that. I would never go after someone personally. I would go after their actions. But for someone to be 47, like Aries Spears is, he shows a great amount of insecurity, a great amount of lack of wisdom. Someone who's not mature. It's just a whole host of problems that he has, that he's basically deflecting towards a woman who's not even bothering him, who is not even in his life, and he is not even in her life. It just goes to show that, in my opinion, people, this speaks to a larger issue of male, but I'm going to say black male misogyny. Because I have noticed that it seems to be that a lot of black men tend to think and believe that they are better or somehow higher up than black women. It's almost like they take on this European mentality where Europeans, debase their women. For the longest of times in America, what happened with the white women? They couldn't vote. They were shut off from certain jobs. There was a glass ceiling. A lot of rights were denied to women simply because they are women. And it seems like so many black men have adopted this type of misogynistic attitude, whereas they think that because they're male, even though physically speaking, he is the exact same size as Lizzo, he doesn't look any better than Lizzo. He seems to think that because he's a male, that somehow that makes him better. Which is why he said that even though in his state, the way he looks, he can still get it. And it's somehow implying that Lizzo cannot. So that clearly shows me that this man thinks that he's better than black women. And unfortunately, this speaks to a lot of black men who are his size or who are not his size. All around. It's just coming to this point where there's just this great divide, and a lot of it has to do with people's mentality. I would like to know if Aries Spears would criticize a white woman like that, saying that she looks like a big old bag of bread, or a big bag of wheat loaf, or a big old thing of putty. He probably wouldn't. But he saved that for a black female. He couldn't say anything nice about her. He couldn't say anything uplifting about her. Well, you could say that he said that she had a pretty face. But then he goes on to debase her. So what good was that? He said he couldn't get past the fact that she shows her body off. Bro, you don't have to look. You could scroll through her Instagram, her feed that is online. You don't really have to pay attention to her. But getting back to this whole mentality that so many black men have and thinking that they're better than black women. That's why many brothers go out there and they branch off into non-black women because they deluded themselves and brainwashed themselves that somehow a black woman is beneath them, that somehow they have elevated higher and they need to get what is considered the epitome of beauty by the white man's standard. Something white or something close to white. Too bad so many black men do not have the mentality or the confidence to say something to the effect of like, no, I am a black man and I'm too good for others. Too bad their self-esteem cannot go into that direction. But many a times when these black men display this arrogance is towards and against black women. But too bad that arrogance cannot be directed towards other races of people with the mentality that I'm too good for you. But no, we tend to be lost in a haystack, so to speak. But this video right here, it's just to show you how far down that we have come as black men, particularly. I'm going to talk about us in this video. No, I don't cape for black men. I don't cape for black women. But I'm focusing on the comments that Aries Spears made today and directing those horrible things at Lizzo, a female who has not said or done anything to him. I don't think I heard her say anything negatively towards black men. But I just think that he needs to be called out. He needs to suffer the backlash. And he needs to be reminded that when it comes to physicality, this is not you anymore. You're no longer there. You're far removed from looking like this. You're far removed from looking like that. And many times, him making those comments, it wouldn't surprise me if this is what he sees himself as opposed to what he is really today in reality. He just made himself look a whole lot more unattractive by simply making those particular statements that was directed at a black female, and a black female who has done nothing to him. So people, let this be a lesson. Critique when it's necessary, but try to leave physical appearance out of the equation. Try not to do a personal attack on a person the way in which they look. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Stand Beyond and Through with Monty, and I'll see you all beyond and through.